Okay, so for the next topic under this module is the goals and tools of financial managers. So, who is a financial manager? When we say financial manager, he is the one who is responsible for monitoring the financial health of an organization. So, how does financial manager monitor the financial health of an organization? So, of course, they are using financial reports as a tool for evaluation. So, when things are going well, they direct investment activities. They also develop plans that could help maintain and improve the financial status of the company. So that is how important financial manager is in an enterprise. So when things are going badly, so they develop strategies to improve the company's finances, not just in short terms, but also in the long term as well. Okay, so financial managers often use their knowledge of a company's finances to help advise the executives on business decisions. So we should understand that not all financial executives are very what you call that fluent in terms of financial matters and financial management. So some of them, or in most cases, most of them should be guided by the help of financial managers, accountants, controllers, and other experts for them to have a sound financial decision making. Okay, so here, what are the goals then of financial managers? So aside from what we have mentioned earlier, so here, number one is they do planning. So financial managers focus on planning, especially for long-term financial strategies. So they assign the actual bookkeeping work to their subordinates. This plan could also include setting of their targets, target profits, target production, and others for limiting overhead costs, production expenses, and debt serve management as as well as achieving specific revenue or profit margin and gross profit objectives. So again, the main objectives of planning for financial managers is to maximize the profit and to minimize the cost. So the financial manager will create master budget for determining if there are any variances or difference between what is planned and what is actually or what has actually transpired in the actual operations. So here, if there are any unfavorable variances, then those who are responsible will be punished. And in the case of favorable variances, so those who are able to achieve those targets will be provided with benefits. So here, the financial manager will then regularly review the budget to analyze and to make decisions if the actual performance of the company is actually meeting what they have planned. So he will help determine what changes should be made in the strategies. So that is for planning. So the second goal is cost containment. So this is of course related to the cost minimization objectives that we have mentioned earlier. So the financial manager creates requests for proposal, biddings, for purchase policies, for contractors, vendors, and suppliers. So this is the only way to ensure that the company gets the best combination of quality and quantity. So a financial manager will also look at the company's current and future resource needs to determine if it is better to perform activities in-house or to outsource. When we say outsourcing, uh, we will be employing the services of an outsider with fee. So we will, or the financial manager is going to analyze if what is beneficial for them or cost efficient. Is it to produce it in-house or to outsource it from other suppliers? Okay. Another goal of financial managers is cash flow management. Okay. So cash flow management is the actual receipt of money and the payment of bills as opposed to the company's budgeted income and expense. So by the way, when we say budgeted income and expense, these are just estimated figures. These are not the actual result of the business operations. So meaning to say, if the company is able to perform, there is a tendency and a great possibility that what has been planned will not be achieved, or a different result will be uh, provided or gained. So here, the goal of the company for cash management policy is of course to make sure that there is always enough money to pay for their bills, for their accounts payable, by order to keep enough credit and cash reserves so that the company will become financially stable, and their credit standing will not become uh, or it their credit or credit uh, or they will not fail on paying to their suppliers when their accounts will fall due. So that's how cash flow management is important. Okay, so number 4 is of course uh, legal compliance. So a financial manager must also make sure that the business must all or meets all legal obligations related to finances, which includes of course the payment of correct and on-time taxes, uh, employee benefits, governmental wage requirements, and reporting to the Securities and Exchange Commission if the company is a public corporation. So, the very reason for legal compliance is once the company violates any uh, requirements coming from the different agencies, so the business can uh, be charged of interest, penalties, and the worst is to close the business if their requirements were not fully uh, complied with. So that's how great is the impact of not complying legally of the requirements that is being asked for the business enterprises. So again, this is also one of the important goals of the financial manager. Okay, so we go now to the tools of financial manager. So financial managers has to use many types of tools to ensure that the company is able to achieve its intended goals and objectives. As part, or as what I have mentioned earlier, in order for them to evaluate the financial health of the organization is to use the financial reports. So this is also used to perform the duties and responsibilities with caution and credibility. So, meaning if there are any guidance or suggestions coming from the financial manager, the sources of his or her suggestions are credible because these are based on facts and not merely on his personal judgment. So we have here the following uh, tools or common tools being used for financial management. So number one is we have the trend analysis. So when we say trend analysis, this is also known as the pyramid method. So this is studying the operational results and financial position over a series of years. So we calculate the ratios of the different items for various period and then compare this under this analysis. So meaning we will look into the trend, what does or has happened from the last 5 years in terms of profitability, uh, asset management, payment of debt or borrowing, and the like. So we just compare how does the company do. Are they doing well or are we deteriorating, and so on. So another is ratio analysis. So here, when we say ratio analysis, we will be dealing with quantitative analysis of information that is contained in the company's financial statements. So in the later part of our syllabus, we will have, or you students are going to learn how to solve for ratio or financial ratios for analysis. Okay, so but here we are just introducing the concept. So we will not deal more about this topic this time. So all you have to do is just understand the concept. Okay, so that is financial analysis. Number three is cash flow analysis. So this is the actual movement of cash into and out of the business. So the flow of cash into the business is what we call cash inflow, and the flow of the cash out of the firm is of course called as cash outflow. So the difference between the inflow and outflow of cash is what we call the net cash flow. So meaning that is what is being remained in the company after paying all of the required expenses and liabilities. So actually the net cash flow is the figure that you can see in the balance sheet in or under the account cash and cash equivalents. So analysis of cash flow explains the reason for the change in cash balance. So it helps in assessing the liquidity of the enterprise and in evaluating the operating, investment, and financing decisions. So here, the cash flow will describe or explain what happened to our cash. For example, if we have a beginning balance of 10,000 and then at the end of the year it's only 8,000, where does the 2,000 difference go? So that difference will be explained and seen from our cash flow analysis. And the fourth is other electronic financial management tools. So here there are actually computer applications that helps the financial managers in collecting financial data from the different divisions of the enterprise. So this is a more sophisticated and advanced tools is being used. So of course, in our setting, we cannot afford to have these electronic tools, but of course, in some cases, they can be learned okay, and used as well through the help of the financial experts. Okay, and we go now to the last topic under this module or chapter. So we will discuss about careers in finance. So what about if you students later on when you graduate wants to engage into financial management careers? So what are the different uh, opportunities that awaits you? So of course, before we go into the job opportunities in finance industry, so we have to understand what are the requirements and job qualifications so that you will become a fit for the job. So of course, number one, these are just the basic uh, qualifications, minimum. So number one, of course, is you should have an undergraduate college degree at minimum when looking for a work in financial industry. So basically, uh, you should be a business uh, related course graduate. So since you are business administration and uh, entrepreneurship student, so you are actually qualified. Okay, so the second, or that is the minimum requirement. So the next qualification is this is better if you also have advanced degrees. So this includes your masteral degrees such as Master in Business Administration, but it's not uncommon to find other master's degree also, and even doctorate degrees in a variety of fields and areas in business. So another is there are also a number of finance related professional designations and certifications. So we all know that uh, other business courses aside from accountancy, you do not have board examination. So in order for you to have this distinct or designated title, you can also get finance related professional designations and certifications that is being offered. So this is also helpful. This includes designation of, you can be a CFA, Certified Financial Analyst, Certified Financial Planner, or CPA for accountancy. So those are the requirements and qualifications, but others might also require you, such as experience, okay, which are work related to finance. The second is if you have those requirements and qualifications, so where do you find these financial management related jobs? So the financial world is large and for most part global in nature. So this means that there are finance jobs to be found nearly in every city around the world, specifically jobs in the financial industry. So in most cases, they are often found in cities which are commonly thought of as international financial centers. So the common cities that you can find for these jobs are in New York, London, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Dubai, and Zurich. But with our digital age, you can actually have uh, a financial job even if you are here in the Philippines through online uh, interview or online employment or hiring. So that is actually possible. Okay, so another source of finance job related work is you can also apply in investment banks, in commercial banks, money management firms, private equity firms, and real estate firms that are also uh, under the finance related areas. Okay, so what are the job opportunities in finance? So number one, you can become financial advisor. So what is a financial advisor? A financial advisor is a planning partner for financial investment about the amount of money you should save, the types of accounts you need, the kinds of insurance you should have, and even tax planning. So in our country, financial advisor basically is related to to an insurance agent. So you are selling insurance under the different insurance companies. So that is also under the finance area. Another is you can also become a financial analyst. So what does financial analyst do? They research macro and microeconomics. So uh, these are the conditions along with company fundamentals to make business sectors and industry recommendations. So the result of your research is of course to make recommendations for the betterment of a certain organization where you are working with. So they must also be aware of the current developments. As financial analysts, you have to be uh, aware of the what is going on, especially in the development in the field of your specialization, so as to make those recommendations and conclusions. So we have the different types of financial analyst jobs. So you can become an economist, strategist, or quant. When we say quant, they are the ones who are creating mathematical models which are designed to predict market activity. So probably you should be a good statistician to become a quant. So the next is you can also become a financial media influencer. So financial media workers takes their knowledge and experiences in the financial and economic realms, and then they also communicate it through writing or speaking about their thoughts and opinions. So they are excellent in communicating skills as well as a firm understanding of the financial world. So there are different types of financial media jobs as well. So you can become an investment writer or on-air commentator, or you can also have your vlogs, okay, the content of which is business and finance related topics. So another is or the last opportunity is you can also become a portfolio manager. So a portfolio manager is a person or group of people who is responsible for investing assets and implementing investing strategies. So they are usually the experienced investors, brokers, or traders with strong backgrounds and financial management and track records of sustained success. So most of these portfolio managers have a long-term exposure and experience in the field of finance. Okay, so that's all for our module number 1, overview of finance. I hope you learned a lot with this topic. See you in another educational video for our next modules. God bless.